You want to just do this, Mike, or no?
Testing. There we go. Testing. There we go. Okay, we swapping.
I know that's Yaba.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you in a second.
Oh, that's nah. Yaba, yeah. Yep. Wow. Good Lord.
I got
I'm
you.
gonna get it.
I got you. So the sound is to okay. Look at it real quick. Get started. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Yabashim Shabarakum to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar, Allah Bashim Yahweh to the sisters. We are the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And we've been teaching the truth since 1969 that all so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives are God's chosen people according to the Bible. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Today we got Priest and Officer Natazak in the building.
Hey, shalom, first.
No, Most High in Christ. So today, if you haven't already looked at the title is going to be For a Just Man Falleth 7 times, it riseth up again. This is very important. We're going to be going over some accounts in the Bible of, very well-respected brothers, who we would know, as great, of course, but sometimes, some of these brothers might fall short, and we need to learn from our mistakes. And some of the best ways of learning is learning from the mistakes of our ancestors, right? We'll get into a little bit more of that later on. But if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to be getting started with the prayers in a second. We'll just give everybody just a quick moment to tune in, right? And the reason why we're going over this is because, as usual, the world, I don't know what's going on, man. I mean, we know what's going on. It's Satan. But as things continue to unravel, the world just gets a little bit more wicked each day. And it could be very easy for any brother or sister to fall short. Some people might feel like, I made a mistake, or, I've done this, I've done that. I can't be forgiven. I should just go back to the world. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? And it's important to learn from your mistakes, right? It's important to not continue to do wrong. That's the big thing, all right? But we'll read some examples in the Bible and we'll give the breakdown. Let's fix this real quick. All right, with that being said, we're going to get started with the prayers. So, a medium, just me and the brother up here. Sorry, face me. Sorry.
La Yasharala.
Sorry, face me. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Amadium upon Yahakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. We'll be getting started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. This is the Lord's Prayer.
Abanawa.
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash.
Kodash,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Shemka.
Shakah,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Malak with Ka.
Malak with Ka,
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah,
Batazaka.
Batazaka,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza,
Kawa.
Kawa,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim,
Batanganawa.
Bathanganawa,
Akum.
Akum,
Call.
Call,
Yawam.
Yawam,
Wasalaknawa.
Wasalaknawa,
Kabawafnawa.
Kabawafnawa,
Kasalaknawa.
Kasalaknawa,
Kabawafyanawa.
Kabawathanawa,
Wala'a.
Wala'ah,
Thabayanawa.
Tabayanawa,
Banasaiwan.
Banasaiwan,
Abal.
Abal,
Hawashainawa.
Kawashainawa,
Mayan.
Mayan,
Rai.
Rai,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Laka.
Laka,
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa,
Waha'ala.
Lala Allah,
Watapara.
Wathapara,
Lawalumyam.
Walayanyam,
Aman.
Aman.
English.
The Lord's Prayer in the English, Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom
thy
come.
will be done
Thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our
and
debts
forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors,
And lead us not
and lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom
and the power,
and the power
and the glory,
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. I got you. Oh. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'asham,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Baba Kasha,
Baba Kasha,
Batanganawa,
Bathanganawa,
Hakak,
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 Larapa'ah,
Laparah,
Call,
Call,
Makala,
Makala,
Wakal,
Wakal,
Madawa,
Madawa,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Latahar,
Latahar,
Ha,
Ha,
Matazariah,
Matazariah,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Lahaquayim,
La'aquayim,
Hamathium,
Hamathium,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Isle,
Al,
Rakawath,
Rakawat,
Atama Allah,
Atama Allah,
Garsham,
Regarasham,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'asham,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Throw water,
the water.
Aman.
Aman. Hakak in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Bash. Oh, so lucky. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
In the name of Yahushai.
in the name of Yahushai,
Please
lead,
give us the power.
give us the power
The power to heal
to heal
all manner of sickness
all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease.
and all manner of disease,
The power to cleanse the
the
lepers.
power to cleanse the
The
lepers,
power to raise the dead.
the power to raise the dead,
The power against unclean
the
spirits.
power against unclean
To
spirits,
cast them out.
to cast them out
In the name of
in the
Yahushai.
name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushai,
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Mayaka Allah,
Wa Ma'aka Allah.
Wa Alahayim,
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ab,
Matazab Ya'ab.
Alawap Yahana,
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapim,
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Sarunyim,
Ha Saramyim.
Ha Kwatazayoyim,
Hakwatazayoyim.
Ha Kayayoyim,
Hachayoyim.
Waha Akwathim,
Wa Akwathyim.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem,
Ba'asham.
Yahushai,
Yahushai.
the water,
The water.
Aman.
Aman. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh,
And Yahushai.
and Yahushai,
And Michael.
and Michael,
And the angels.
and the angels,
Commanding General Yohana.
commanding General
The
Yohana,
generals.
the generals,
The captains.
the
The
captains,
officers.
the officers,
The troopers.
the troopers,
And the sisters.
and the sisters,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
In the name of
in the
Yahushai.
name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah.
Ayunya,
Ayamya.
All,
All.
Haharyim,
Haharyim.
Mayan,
Mayan.
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah.
Izoria,
Isaiah.
Izoria,
Isaiah.
Ma'aim,
Ma'ai.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Aisha,
Aisha.
Shemayim,
Shemayim.
Wa'arataza,
Rataza.
Ayathan,
Ayathan.
Lamawat,
Lamawat.
Lagalka,
Ugalka.
All,
All.
Yanawam,
Yanwam.
Shamarka,
Shamalka.
Hana,
Hana.
La'ah,
La'ah.
Yanawam,
Yanwam.
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah.
Yayashun,
Yayasham.
Shawamar,
Shalmar.
Yasharala,
Yasharala.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Shamarka,
Shamarka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Tazalka,
Tazalka.
Al-Yad,
Ayad.
Yamyamka,
Yamyamka.
Yawamam,
Yanwam.
Hashamash,
Hashamash.
La'ah,
La'ah.
Yakaka,
Yakaka.
Wayarak,
Ayarak.
Balayala,
Balayla.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka.
Makal,
McCall.
Rai,
Rai.
Yashamar,
Yashamar.
Athnapashka,
Atnapashka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamar,
Yashamar.
Taza'afka,
Taza'aka.
Wabawa'afka,
Wabawa'aka.
Maita,
Maita.
Wa'aid,
Wa'ai.
Iwalam.
Awulam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all, Damaya,
Damaya,
Laka,
Leka,
all,
all,
Zakarash,
Zakarash,
Wa'al,
Wa'al,
Ashakwat,
Ashakwat,
all,
all,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Awayabyaka,
Yebika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawam,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
I'll,
Al,
Amaka,
Amaka,
Ya'ayamwa,
Ya'amwa,
Sawada,
Sabada,
Waita,
Waita,
Yaitazawa,
Yatazawa,
I'll,
Al,
Tazapawanyaka,
Tazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wadakakidam,
Magoya,
Magaya,
Wala'a,
Wala,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum,
Zum,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Naitazawa,
Yatazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
it's like Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Baryath,
Wayath,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Ahaya,
Ahaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa, Yashama Alyam,
Yashima Adam,
Mawa Abba,
Mala'aba,
Wahagoyam,
Wagariam,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wamawan,
Wamawam,
Wamalak,
Wamalak,
Palashath,
Palashath,
Am Yashabian,
Yashabian,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Amam,
Hayawa,
Haiwa,
Zorawai,
Zarawai,
Labunya,
Labunya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamudyam,
Kamadyam,
Kasaya,
Hasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayubyan,
Hayabim,
Wanakal,
Manakal,
Koyashwan,
Kayashwan,
Nashamarwa,
Nishadawa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Dawa,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yamawa,
Yamawat,
Kairab,
Kairab,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Ba,
Wakaza Ba,
Wakata Zalmanai,
Wakatazarna,
Call,
Call,
Masayaka,
Masayaka,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarasha,
Narasha,
Lanawa,
Nawat,
Af,
Af,
Nawa,
Narwath,
Alahayam,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Gogala,
Kagogla,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapunya,
Lapunya,
Raka'a,
Raka'ah,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaira,
Tabaira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Talahat,
Tala'at,
Haryam,
Hayam,
Kun,
Kun,
Tharadatma,
Tawadatma,
Basairaka,
Wasairaka,
Wabasa,
Wabasar,
Wapathka,
Wapathka,
Tabahalam,
Dabalam,
Mala'a,
Wala,
Panyahum,
Palahum,
Kuala One,
Palawam,
Waya,
Waya,
Bakwashwa,
Bakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Bahawa,
Bahawa,
Adyai,
Ayai,
Waya,
Waya,
Kaparwa,
Kapawa,
Waya,
Waya,
Abadwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Dayawa,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labaka,
Labatka,
Alyawan,
Ayawam,
Alcohol,
Akal,
Harataza.
Harataza. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace,
And be not still.
and be not still.
O God.
O God,
For lo,
for lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thine enemies make atonement,
And they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people,
And consulted
consulted
against thy hidden one.
against thy hidden one.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
With one consent,
with one consent.
they are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
the
tabernacles of Edom,
tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gebal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the
as
Midianites,
to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Made their nobles like Oreb,
and like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as Zabah,
and as Almunah,
and as Almunah,
who said,
who said,
Let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
Salakia. Let us take to ourselves
Let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempests,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy
that
name.
they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and
and
perish,
perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high,
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sorry, it's me. May be seated. Let's clap it up for the Most High. All right, so we're going to be starting by reading out of the book of Genesis, chapter 12. We're going to start at verse, let's see. Verse 1. We'll start at verse 1. The book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 1. Read it in the Hebrew first 7 verses, and go over it in the English. Is the air on here?
That's what I was about to go check right now.
I'll go do it. You can get started.
12 and 1.
12 and 1. Genesis 12 and 1.
All right, let's get this started. Yabah. Oh, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 12 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Yabah. Waya mara. Wahaya Yahweh. Salakia. Waha. Allah ya abara rama. La ra ya la ra. Ma'ara tazara. Wa ma wa la ta ra. Wama baya ta. Salaki. Yama wama baya taza. Abaya ra. Ala ya. Ha'ara rataza. Ashara. Ara I shara laga waya gada waya la. Let's see. Bara gada la ha shamara wahayaha baraka kaha bara baha mabara bayara wama pa salaki wama khwa la ra ara salaki ara wana bara kawa bara kala masha pata taza ha'adama ha waya la ra aba ra rama Shara, Da Dabara, Ala Ya, Ala Yawa, Yaha, Yaha, Waha, Ra, Waya La, right, Waya La Ra, I, Atazaya,
We are right now.
verse 4. Laya Ta, Baram, um, Ba, Bazaya, uh, Bazaya Chamasha, Sha, Shana Yum, Washa by Iram. I hit that one. Shana Ha, Ba, 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 Ataya, Ma, Macharaza, Khwatha, Ata, Abaya, I was like Abba Rum, Athaya, Sharaya, Asha, Chawa, uh, what is this? Ya Lawata, Bataza, Chayawa, Yaka Lawa. Let me see. Okay, we're in 6. Rabba Washam, Ashar, Rakasha, A, Khaya, Na, Napasha, Ashara, Aisha Wa, Ba, Bacharaza, Waya Awa, La, Ka, Ara Ha, Bana Isa, Waya Ba, Awa, Ara Ha, Ba, Kana Isa, Waya Bar, A, Abaram, so like a Taza, um, I, Da, so like a Wam, Wa, Shakam, Da, Ila Waza, Mawar Iha, uh, Wahaka Naya, Aza, Ba'ara Taza. 2 verse 7 or read verse 7?
Read verse 7.
Okay, come on. Waya, Yawa, Waha, Alaya, Abaram, Mara, Laza, Ra, Achaza, Acha, Yacha, Arataza, Haza Aicha, Waya Baza, Sham, Ma Mazabaita, Achaza. So I get that right. Laya Wayaha, Hana Ra'aha, Ala Wa, Ala Yawa.
All right, most time in Christ. All right, so we're going to be going over the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 1. It's like this one. Verse 12. It's like it.
Hey, Shalom Christ, hold on.
Shalom, Lord Christ, out of one you. Got Priest and Officer Shabal, Lahab, Karataza. Got Sawap in the building. See you too, Halak. Shalom, Lord Christ, out of one you. Nakim. All right, so the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, this is Abram before his name was changed to Abraham, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Now, quick breakdown, right? Before we get into the main topic, a lot of Christians will try to use Abraham as some sort of significance, saying that, we all come from Abraham, so we should all be blessed. No, though Abraham has, because his name Abraham is father of many nations, even though many nations have come from the lineage of Abraham, remember, multiple times throughout the Bible, cannot stress this enough, it's always Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Every single time, all right, a specific lineage. So no, this does not include everybody. All right, don't get confused. You can even read it in the book of Ezra, second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 56. I'm roughly paraphrasing, where it is referred to the other nations as spittle, right? The Most High is not going to call everybody spittle for no reason. You understand? It's always Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So this is strictly talking about Abraham, or Abram at this time, and his future seed, meaning Isaac and Jacob and the Israelites. Now let's keep going. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai before her name was changed to Sarah, his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan. Into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land. This is a prelude to the Israelites, before the Israelites later on conquered the land of Canaan, and it was later changed to, obviously, Israel, right? It was originally Canaan. Also, another quick breakdown before we continue. There's, I don't know why, but I keep bumping into these random weirdos who are trying to say that black people are the lost tribes of Canaanites, and they use the same scripture every time. It's like rinse and repeat. Genesis chapter 9, verse 25 and 26, where it says that Canaan, roughly paraphrasing, Canaan is going to serve under Shem, in a sense, right? For some odd reason, I see this from a lot of heathens who try to pretend to be Israelites, you understand? And they'll try to teach this to try to discredit black people and say that they are Canaanites. Their only argument is slavery. But when you read all throughout the Bible, and you read about the history of Canaan and the history of the Israelites, first of all, Israel served in captivity way more than the Canaanites. Also, the Canaanites, the reason why I said this is because the Canaanites, or the land of Canaan, was going to be conquered by the Shemites, aka Israelites, and they were going to serve under them. That's what that's preluding to. That's actually in the Bible. So no, Don't listen to no idiot who tries to tell you that black people are Canaanites. They're just telling you that because realistically, they just hate you and they think you're a slave and they don't want you to be an Israelite. That's really all it is. So
what's the logic in that? What are they trying to? You said that they're Judites saying that we're Canaan.
So I bumped into because there's a lot of fake Israelite groups out there, right? And some of these Israelite groups contain heathens. And I bumped into some groups. You know how they have black only Hebrew Israelite groups. First of all, before I continue, ISUPK is not affiliated with any other Israelite group or any type of Afrocentric movement. Let's just get that out the way. But there are other Israelite groups who are black only Hebrew Israelite groups. But then there's also Latino native only Israelite groups.
Oh, okay.
So, Slakia, sadly, the Northern Tribe brothers, and some of them aren't even brothers. I found out some of them are heathens. Try to teach that the Southern tribes are the Canaanites. Because, the common, oh, you guys are Hamites because you're dark and you're in Africa. But they don't ever like to go over how the Southern tribes traveled through Africa. Like, even the Africans do not claim us multiple times. Not to get too off topic, but the new Black Panther movie coming out. And now, of course, now all of a sudden, all the black people are African again. You're going to wear your dashikis and all that stuff. And guess what? I'm already hearing from the actual African community complaining and saying, why y'all trying to appropriate with our culture now?
Right.
Just throwing that out there. But Salaki, I don't want to get off topic.
Yeah, they protested last time.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. Yeah. But not to get too off topic. So let's continue.
Right.
Let's see. We'll start at go to verse 10. So the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 10. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, Behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. Fair meaning that, Sarai was a very beautiful woman. She was a very beautiful sister, right? Therefore it shall come to pass when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, This is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. So, Abram, though an amazing brother, right? There were some times he made some errors. This is one of the errors that he made. So he is recognizing that his wife is very beautiful. Okay, that's your wife. Okay. The problem here is that they're journeying to Egypt, and in his spirit, he is worried and he is afraid that the Egyptians are going to see his wife and think, oh man, that's a bad shorty, right? She bad as hell. Oh, that's her man? You know how brothers in the world do, like, oh, who this lame? You know how they try to do. So he's fearing for his life. This is a moment of weakness that Abram had. He's fearing for his life, thinking, okay, they are going to kill me to get to my wife. So let's read what Abram does. And it says in verse 13, Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall I live because of thee. So now what he's telling his wife, Sarai, if anybody asks you, who are you? They're going to just tell them that you're my sister. Don't tell them that you're my wife. Tell them that you're my sister. We're going to continue a little bit, and we're going to see all the reasons why this is just a horrible thing to do.
If I may, real quick.
Go ahead.
Somebody put in the chat, do we answer questions? Yes, if you have a question, put it in the chat. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat. We'll get to them as we go. All right, so to continue, the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 14. And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman that she was very fair. So the Egyptians saw Sarai and okay, wow, she's very beautiful. Now remember, he just told Sarai, don't tell them that you're my wife. Tell them that you're my sister. Let's read why this was wrong. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. So they saw this woman and was like, oh my goodness, she is so beautiful. We, bring her here. Bring her here.
Oh gosh, it's one of those.
And it says, and he entreated Abram well for her sake. So because they thought that Abram was her brother and not her husband, they wanted to pretty much kind of pay a dowry to accommodate Abram. Hey, like, I really like your sister. May I have her? Matter of fact, here, let's read real quick. And he had sheep and oxen and he asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels. So this is like a dowry. Let's get something straight real quick, because I've seen people try to do this. Prostitution is a sin in the Bible. Okay? When we say pay a dowry, this does not mean go out here in these streets, go on the internet, and go pay to go have sex with a woman. This is not what this means. I cannot stress this enough. What this means is a dowry, pretty much take this as like a term of respect, right? For example, Jacob, right? His dowry to, I forgot, what was his name? Rachel and Leah's father. That's with an L. I forgot his name.
Is freaking God dang it. Hold on.
I forgot his name. If you can find it for me real quick, Bubba, because I forgot his name. But long story short, Jacob, our forefather, had to pay a dowry for, it was supposed to be Rachel, but he ended up getting Leah and Rachel and the maid servants as well. They were all his wives. The dowry was to serve their father, Laban, the water. Laban. He had to serve Laban for 7 years. Now, did he actually pay money? No. What he did was he earned the respect of the father. He paid his dowry. He put in the effort and the work to show, like, okay, this is a man that I can give my daughter to. It's not always money. It doesn't have to. I'm not gonna go up to a brother and like, hey, here's $5,000 for your daughter. Like, no, it's not always something like that. Okay, let's get that straight. Because what fake Hebrew Israelites will tell you, they'll try to tell you like, oh, you go out there and you get a prostitute, you pay the dowry.
Oh, that's why they try to say that prostitution is lawful?
That's what they try to twist that.
Oh,
they try to twist
okay.
That.
I never really understood that.
Yeah, no, they just sick in the head. They try to say that, oh, well, it's a form of payment. It's what they call it, a business transaction.
That's deep.
Yeah, so no, that is garbage, okay? And any fake Hebrew Israelite who tries to tell you that, they are lying. That's why we call them fake Hebrew Israelites. If you're not in the ISUPK, you're not in the truth, okay?
Right.
We stand on that. If anybody who wants to disagree, oh, please, I dare you. Because there ain't no way we allowing that. Even in the Bible, it says, do not prostitute thy daughter.
Right.
Salaki, I just wanted to get that out real quick. So not to get this confused, okay? So in this sense, let's say, hypothetically, this was his actual sister. It's not. But if Sarai was his actual sister, Pharaoh giving Abram the sheep and the she-asses and the oxen and stuff, this is not prostitution.
Right.
Okay? However, in this context right here, stay with me, this is actually Abram's wife,
right,
who he's trying to disguise as his sister. So we're going to read a little bit more, and we'll cover why this is just a horrible thing to do. So, the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 17. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife, not his sister, his wife. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? What didst thou not? Oh, it's like it. Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? So Pharaoh is like, what in the hell is going on here? Why is my temple in shambles? Why are my people getting sick? Why are all these plagues coming upon me? Wait a minute, this is your wife? Why didn't you tell me this was your wife? So let's keep reading. Verse 19. Why saidest thou, she is my sister? He's pretty much asking him like, why did you lie? Well, I'll get to that question in a second. Why did you lie and say that this was your sister if this is actually your wife? And it said right here, so I might have taken her to me to wife. Now, therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way. So he's like, look, man, you could have just told me that was your wife. Okay, we could have alleviated this whole thing. Here, take your wife and get the hell up out of my house. Okay? So this is what Pharaoh was feeling. Now, let's break this down real quick. Why was this wrong? This is wrong for a couple reasons, right? For one, this was a moment of weakness. No brother should ever, I stress this, you should never be ashamed of walking around with your wife. That is your wife. Okay, she's beautiful. Okay, cool. I mean, That's your wife. You should never have to fear somebody else for what your wife looks like. Don't be one of them brothers. Don't be one of them beta male brothers out there who's afraid to take claim to his wife. Like I've seen that sometimes, like out in the world, it might be a brother with like low self-esteem or whatever, and he might have a rib, she's very fair, and other brothers will try to get at her in front of him, and then the brother just don't do nothing about it. Like, you're weak, okay? And first of all, she shouldn't be entertaining that crap anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But my point being is that's weak as hell. That was a weak-minded mentality that Abram had. Though he was a great brother, and he's done great things, as we're going to talk about a couple of other men in the Bible, this was one of those times like, you messed up, Ak. Okay, you shouldn't have did that, okay? Also, let's break this down even further of why this was so bad. Due to his weakness, he caused himself to pretty much almost sin and his wife to almost sin because she's listening to him like, okay, I'm going to tell everybody that I'm your sister. Here's the problem with that. In the Bible, you're not supposed to prostitute your wife. You're not supposed to give your wife to anybody else. Your wife is not supposed to sleep with anybody else. She's supposed to stay with you forever. The only way that she can leave you is you literally have to leave this earth. Okay? That's the only time. For anybody who got any questions, that's the only time when a woman can remarry is when she's widowed. When she's widowed. You can't just leave him. Okay? Because now you're a whore. Now, so says me, so says the Most High. Okay? Now, because he was saying that this was his sister and Sarai was agreeing with it, well, no one's going to think that's his wife, so they're going to try to sleep with her, which is what Pharaoh was trying to do. But because the Most High forbids that, started to plague Pharaoh. And of course, Pharaoh, like, what the heck? What's going on? And then, of course, Pharaoh, rightfully so, was very angry and wroth with Abram and Sarai because of Abram being a coward. Salaki, I'm just going to call it what it is. He was being a coward. And Sarai, let's keep it real right now, was about to be a whore. Abram was prostituting her in a sense right now. He was giving up his wife for pretty much an exchange of men servants in a form of payment, right? This is wrong. Due to his lack of confidence and his fear of man, the Egyptians are going to get me because my wife is bad. Like, come on, all right? Don't do that. All right, this is an important lesson to understand. This is what weakness can lead to. It's not just going to affect you, but it can affect the people around you. I'm gonna stop right there. You got anything you want to add? Not to
Well, I mean, did you want to answer those questions first, or do you want to? I'll just be real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, pretty much. Abram was being a coward. You know what I mean? He was being a coward, and he was afraid to die, and he was afraid that, because, you know what I mean, he's walking around with this, you know what I mean, extremely attractive woman, and this woman is his wife, that men would seek to kill him because they want what he has. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he cowered and he was fearful. Did you want to see him?
Yeah, if you scroll real quick, I'll answer it. But keep going.
Yeah. So he was afraid, and he made a mistake by trying to avoid death and giving up his wife. So that's pretty much all I got with that. It's definitely the wrong thing to do, because the Lord was with Abram at that time period. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like they were ordered to pass through, and he lost. He lost courage and he lost faith, and he just felt like, okay, well, you know what I mean, we're passing through this strange land, and these men are definitely going to try to kill me to get my wife. So, yeah. You know what I mean, he made up this lie, and it was a lie. You know what I mean? It was a lie. He lied, and he did the wrong thing. So that's pretty much. Just alleviating off of that.
All right. So I'll take the time to answer these two questions real quick, and then we'll continue with class. So this person is asking, ruddy means red. Adamni, Adam, Edom, all mean red. Okay, so this is a very good question, because I get this question a lot. So people often get confused, right? Because in the Bible, the Israelites are described as many different colors. You can go to the book of Acts. There was an apostle, an Israelite. It doesn't say what tribe he was from exactly, but he's referred to as Niger, however you want to pronounce it, and that could be translated to black. However, there are also Israelites who are called ruddy. Now, ruddy can be reddish or like reddish brown. What people don't understand sometimes is when you read the Hebrew, right? One word can have many different meanings. So that same root word, that Hebrew word that refers to ruddy, it also can mean red as for Esau. So what some people will try to do, not saying that this person is, but what some people will try to do is they'll try to say, well, all Israelites are red, like Esau. So if you're a different shade, then you cannot possibly be an Israelite. This is what the things that they don't understand. First of all, you can't judge an Israelite by skin color anymore. I know that there's a lot of fake Hebrew Israelites out there who like to teach that all the Israelites are black, and no. We mix in with other nations, and you are who your father is. We have Israelites in the school who are ruddy, much lighter than I. We have Judites who are much lighter than me and the brother right here. We have Judites that are darker, right? We intermix with a lot of different nations, so, you know, genetics, stuff like that. We may look different, or a lot of us do look different. But when you look at red, red is red, right? Get this real quick. This is red. It's red. Ruddy, though, if you actually look at what the color ruddy means, it can mean a fair complexion or like a reddish brown. Perfect example, a slang term that we use, red bone. A red bone, usually we use it as a term for like a light-skinned black woman. She just has a lighter skin tone. She could be medium brown, light brown, whatever, right? If that just gives some understanding to that. Now to move on with the next one.
So, like, if I may, real quick,
Go ahead.
Edom does not mean red. Edom means what? It means lack thereof, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's
Esau
like lack there. Yeah, or Esau.
I think Esau is red.
Esau's red.
It's Edom or Esau. One of them is red.
It might be okay. So like, I might be wrong.
But I can look it up later. But to go on to the next one, it says, if I tell a lie to a person not of my race, can I be judged for that lie? I'm saying that because of the scripture that was just read about. So lying is a sin regardless. It doesn't matter who you do it to. Lying is a sin regardless. If I can go in a little bit to that, not to get too off topic. So the only people that can sin are Israelites because we were given the law. Sin is a transgression of the law. So the only people that can actually sin are Israelites because we were given the law. It doesn't matter who you lie to. You can lie to a 5-year-old child. A lie is a lie. You know, if my boss, perfect example, right? Let's say my boss tries to call me in today, and I say no, and they're wondering why, and I tell them, well, it's because I got car trouble. That's a lie, because the truth is I have Sabbath service. So I would just tell them, oh, you know, I have religious services that I have to partake in, quote unquote, right? Oh, okay, cool. Don't sit here and make up some, oh, I can't do this because the thing is when you lie once, you know, it starts to dig a rabbit hole for yourself. Because then you got to make another lie to cover up that lie, et cetera, et cetera. So no, it doesn't matter who you lie to. Lying is a sin, even if it's somebody who is a non-Israelite, just like stealing. All right, stealing is a sin. Now, let's say I steal a car from, let's say, an Asian person. It's still stealing. It doesn't matter if that person was an Israelite or a heathen. I just stole something from somebody. So it's still a sin, regardless, if that answers any questions. So now,
There is no
what?
sin that is even lawful against heathens, right?
What do you mean?
Like, a sin is just a sin in general.
Sin is a sin.
I,
Yeah, a sin is a sin.
yeah,
Just
it don't matter.
flat across the board. But that's a good question though, because a lot of people they wonder that, right? That's a good question. So yeah, just so we're clear, a sin is a sin, point blank, period, regardless of who you do it to. Just like how killing is a sin, right? If I just go somewhere and just stab an Edomite in the chest and kill him, okay, yeah, Esau is wicked, but I can't just, you know what I'm saying? I can't just kill him just to kill him. Like, nah, that's still a sin, right? I'm a murderer. Now, to get back to the topic, right? The main topic is a just man falleth 7 times, but he riseth up again. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. You got that precept? I'm gonna just get it real quick. And we'll continue with some other accounts in the Bible. I think it's Proverbs. I had it in here.
Proverbs 24:16.
Yeah, if you could read that, Bubba Kasha.
Yep. The book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
Now, this is important, right? Because this is important, right? Because this is another thing that will keep people from being in the truth and will also cause some people to fall out of the truth. Because we are taught in the Bible, you're supposed to be perfect, right? Christ was perfect. Yahweh Shai Mashiach, or as you would know him, Jesus Christ was perfect. He never sinned. He never faltered. So we strive to uphold the law the same way as he did. Now, there's many other brothers in the Bible. We just talked about Abram, right? You can talk about Isaac. Of course, Jacob. We always talk about Jacob. You can talk about King David. King David was an amazing brother. We talk about him all the time. His son, King Solomon. We could talk about some of David's son. We could talk about Samson, right? There's many brothers in the Bible. Moses, Aaron. There's many brothers in the Bible. However, it's good to learn from them because they did great things, but they also did things that were wrong.
Right.
And it's important to understand this because you don't want to make the same mistakes. And if you do make mistakes, right, this is another thing that people often ask. Well, what if I sin now? Right? That's a very good question. What if I sin now? Am I not in the truth anymore? Do I give up? Do I stop? Do I go back to my wicked ways? Hell no. Let's say you do sin, right? Let's say you do sin. Look, whatever consequence the Most High gives you is just like Esau's laws, right? If you break the law, there's a consequence, right? And depending on what you did, how many times you did it, look, that's up to the Most High at that point. you got to take it up with the big man upstairs, okay? Your job is to uphold the law. If you falter, though, if you make a mistake, if you make an error, Abram made an error. He lied. He was being weak, and he almost prostituted his own wife. But it also says in the Bible that Abram was pretty much the Most High's friend. I don't think people understand how strong of a title that is. Mm-hmm. For the Most High to recognize you as his friend, that's deep, right? But the thing is, Abram, just like many other brothers and sisters and us, you have to learn from your mistakes, right? Because if you keep making the same mistake, then you fall into wickedness, right? For example, if you know that smoking is wrong, then that's pretty common knowledge. And you come into the truth and you find out, okay, smoking is obviously a sin. You're polluting your body. The Most High doesn't want that. So let's say you stop smoking, Most High in Christ. But then you get a moment of weakness. You get a moment of weakness, right? You're stressed out. Baby mama stressing you out. Kids stressing you out. You lost your slave, whatever. And you start smoking again. Well, look, I mean, I can't stop you. I'm not around you. All right? But there's an angel around you watching you and making reports back to the Most High. Now, if you are, which you will, if you are punished for that, which you will, you have to take that punishment. Now, let's say you're like, okay, you know what? This is wrong. Let me stop smoking for real now. And you cut it out completely. Most High in Christ. You learned from your mistake. You didn't continue. Now, if you continue to do it, well, hey, don't be mad when you get cancer. Okay? Don't be mad when the Most High plagues you with cancer. Don't be mad. Or the Most High makes you infertile. I don't know. Sometimes it can affect your fertility for both men and women. And now you're shooting blanks. Or now your eggs ain't as fertile as they used to, sis. Right? You can't have kids now. But that's your fault. That's your punishment for sinning. You understand? That's why it's good to learn. Learn from your mistakes. That's why it says, a just man falleth 7 times, meaning he makes errors. You might stumble on the way. All right? Thing is, get back up. Don't fall into sin and just accept it like, okay, well, I guess I'm a sinner now. That's Satan. That's what Satan wants. That's how people fall out of the truth, and for people who don't want to come into the truth, because they feel like, oh, well, if I mess up, then
Now that's doubt. That's doubt. You understand? Let's see. I was told I come from the tribe of Judah.
Who told you that?
Let me see. I'm German. I come from the tribe. You're German?
Like, is your nationality, or you just live in Germany?
Yeah, because there's a difference between there's a difference between race and ethnicity. So if you live in Germany, I mean, yeah, you can identify as German. Like we live in America,
Right.
so we can identify as American. But who is your forefather? Like what race is your forefather? Let's see. Person saying, "Oh, this is swap. Training your ways make you definitely damn coward." Lies you up. How about if brothers is hating you? I don't see what that has to do with it. Yeah, my race and nationality both German. Then you are not an Israelite. Yeah, if your race and nationality is German, you are not an Israelite.
Yeah. Are you like?
Yeah, if you're telling me your race is German, like you're white, like your forefathers are white, then yeah, you're an Edomite. Sorry.
Yeah.
Moving on. Anyway, you got anything not to say? Before
Where
we
do we
continue?
where do we leave off? We left off on
Abram. I was gonna go over like one more person, a couple more people.
Okay, so Abram. Okay. Who are you about to go over just now?
Let's see. We can go over.
Because I mean, I was asking that because I was going to go over those same people I went through in the last class,
What?
which were you know what I mean, as far as you know what I mean, what the priest is saying is like very, very heavy, and also too, like, you know what I mean, this just shows you that our records are not just here for entertainment. This is not just an entertaining book. Like, this is actual true records of people's lifestyles and how they live. Like, it goes through, you know what I mean, the mistakes we made as a nation, and it goes through mistakes that our pioneers made as well. Even though these are great men who did great things, they still had certain blemishes as far as when it came to like their walks into becoming those pioneers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got, you know what I mean, Abram and what he did was with his wife, you know what I mean, being afraid. And all these are lessons to withhold as far as your walk in the Jewish are not white. Yes, they are. But yeah, so they're Amalek. But yeah, so you got Abram and what he yeah, they're all certain lessons as far as when it comes to what you should learn when you do your walk through this through this truth. You know what I'm saying? So don't, first of all, don't be a coward. You know what I mean?
Right.
You get that from Abram. You know what I mean? Don't I did David and David
Bathsheba.
and Bathsheba. You know what I mean? Don't lust over another man's wife. You know what I'm saying? Don't have that spirit of lust on you. Don't yeah, Samson, you know what I mean? Don't lust over heathen women.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? King Solomon, again with heathen women. Who else did I do? Ezekiel. Don't choose anything over the truth. You know what I mean? Your first wife is this truth. You know what I mean? Is this work? And always put the work first. I put this on library, but it just keeps on going on. But yeah, so all these are lessons to go over. I'm pretty sure the priest got a couple more examples, but these are just examples of, you know what I mean, what you need to do as far as like not failing when you go through these walks of serving the Most High today. You know what I'm saying? You have all these lessons. You got all these things for people to know. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. Sheesh. I mean, there's so many other examples. Pretty much everybody got a situation that they had where they fell short. But I mean, except for Christ. But you know what I mean? All in all, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, Peter as well. You know what I mean? When he denied Christ 3 times, that situation, he didn't fold from it. He didn't give up. He didn't just say, you know what? I'm not who I thought I was. I don't have the strength that I thought I did. I'm just about to give up. No. What he did, he became even more thorough. He became even more unpenetrable. You know what I'm saying? And he took his, you know what I mean, he took his servant to of Christ all the way to his last day. You know what I mean? So he became less fearful and less unsure of himself. You know what I'm saying? So learn from your mistakes, learn from things that you might fall short of, and just be a better person. You know what I mean? Abram became Abraham because he was better than what he was when he was Abram. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Freaking Oshea became Joshua, you know what I mean, because he became a righteous leader and a righteous soldier. You know what I'm saying? Freaking, you know what I mean? Like that's when you get in here and you get your 90 days and you change your name and you change you're changing your ways of life before you even change your name. You know what I'm saying? And those are things that, as far as like the mistakes you make, as far as going through your 90 days, or even, you know what I mean, even officers are up to making a mistake. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, it's about where do you go from there? Are you just going to continue to keep making the same mistake? Or are you going to learn from it and move on from it? But
If I may, what you just said was an excellent point. Like you said, like, even brothers in here, when you get rank, it doesn't matter what your rank is. You can be an officer of 50 or a general. It doesn't matter. It's like it's to the men above me, but you still got to uphold the law. Like these men that we're reading of, like, I'm no King Solomon. Like, you get my point. Like, right. I'm no King Solomon, who was one of the wisest brothers in the Bible. Of course, not as wise as Christ, of course, but other than that, one of the wisest brothers ever known. King David, everybody. I mean, come on, we can talk about King David all day. We always talk about King David. But, these were very high-ranking, zealous, just extraordinary brothers. And even they fell short. Right. Now, here's the thing. Christians will try to tell you, oh, see, look, they fell short too. It's okay. Here's the problem with that. Once you get okay with sinning, you're going to keep doing it. That's what you're not supposed to do. Christians will make you feel like you can sin from Monday to Saturday, and you can come in on Sunday, and then everything is just forgiven. The thing is, they make you feel like it is okay to keep up the wickedness. They don't try to teach you to stay away from it. They teach you, all is forgiven. All you got to do is just praise Jesus, and, Jesus loves you. And no. You're supposed to fix yourself.
Right.
The Christian church will tell you, come as you are and stay as you are. We tell you, come as you are and change.
Right.
That's the difference between the truth and the blasphemy that the Christian pastor continues to spew out to the children of Israel.
Right.
You understand? But what you brought out was heavy. Yeah, like, it doesn't matter what your rank is. You can still fall short. But the thing is, where do you go from that? That's the biggest thing. Where do you go from that? How do you become better than what you were yesterday? You might have been a drug addict. You might have been in and out of jail. You might have been a whore or a prostitute. You might have been a drug dealer. You might have had all types of addictions, and you might have been a murderer.
Right.
I mean, look, the Most High ain't getting rid of you yet, so that means you still got some time to fix yourself. So don't take it for granted. Fix yourself.
Right.
Okay. Matter of fact, I'll read a quick precept real quick. I believe it's Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Meaning you're supposed to learn not just from your mistakes, but the mistakes of the brothers and sisters in the Bible, right? We could read. I mean, there's so many examples. I don't even know where to begin. Like you said, Samson.
Right.
Samson is famous. Samson is strong. Everybody knows about him, right? An extraordinarily strong, mighty brother. Sadly, he loved Philistine women. He just couldn't let them go. Even his own parents questioned him, do you not want a woman of your own father's lineage?
Right.
But I don't know what that Philistine woman was doing to him, but he just couldn't get away from her, and he ended up dying. Yeah, he took the Philistines with him, but the point was he wasn't supposed to die. Right. He didn't learn from his mistake.
Right.
Until the very, very end. That's when he realized, oh, man, I really let this woman get to me. So, Most High in Christ, the Lord at least had a little bit of mercy on him to give him the strength to take those damn Philistines with him. But sadly, Samson died. He died earlier than what he should have because he couldn't let the heathen women go.
Right.
That's a good thing to learn for brothers out there. Okay, 1, stay away from heathen women, and 2, stay away from whores, because they were prostitutes too. The Philistines were paying her to have sex with Samson to get the secrets and stuff. Right. Right? That's dangerous. I don't know. It's like it real quick, right? this brother I knew in the world, right? And we just just talking about stuff. And sometimes I forget, this happens in the world because we've been in the truth for quite some time now. We don't even think of stuff like this. So this brother tells me, in them little dating apps and stuff, I think it was like Tinder or whatever. So of course, meeting up with some sister, I don't even know if it was a sister. Long story short, meets up with her, about to, have sex with her or whatever. They're about to go back to her place. The brother starts to tell this woman about, because he's a father, he has kids and stuff. So this brother got lucky. Let me tell you how lucky this brother was. The woman ends up having some type of sympathy for the brother and says, you know what? I can't do this. He said, what you mean? I can't do this because you have kids. You're a father. You really love your kids. I have to tell you the truth. So now I'm wondering, okay, well what's the truth she had to tell you?
Yikes.
Turns out that we up north, we call it a lick. She was going to set up this brother because the spot they were supposed to go to, there was a whole bunch of men waiting to rob him.
Damn.
She was going to hit a lick on this brother. And this brother wasn't strapped. He didn't have no protection. It was just him alone. And they were going to rob him and possibly kill him. But luckily, she felt some type of sympathy. She had some type of humanity in her to say, hey, you know what? No, I can't do this. You got kids and stuff. I can't get you done like that. Just drop me off here. Just go.
Yeah, he must have liked her too.
Yeah, so I'm like, the brother told me that, and I'm like, look, don't do that again. Don't do that again. And Most High in Christ, the brother never did that again. So I'm like, okay, but my point being is he learned from his mistake. This happens in the world. Like, brothers need to understand, like, we always talk about sisters and how they get hemmed up and stuff. It ain't just them, it's you too. That's why the Lord don't want you creating whores out of women.
Right.
Stay away from them. Just like how Samson was the first lick.
Yep.
Samson was the first lick. You ever want to hear about a brother getting hemmed up? Read about Samson and how them Philistine women was putting it on him, and he couldn't let it go and ended up dying because of it. Mm-hmm. You understand? Another one, there's so many people we could talk about. You could talk about Moses. Moses, another amazing brother. He was a Levite, and his error was that, I can like slack it. I can understand Moses and Aaron when they was going through I understand these brothers. I understand these brothers. Look, how much time we got?
You got like 30 minutes.
No, we got to end at 11:30. We give it like 5-10 more minutes.
Okay, come on.
But my point being is these brothers were frustrated. Anybody read about Moses and Aaron? These are two Levite brothers sent to go get the children of Israel up out of Egypt, and we were just complaining. Like, you know how Negroes just complain, right? Mm-hmm. Picture a whole bunch of so-called blacks and Latinos, and we just running our mouths. My feet hurt. I'm hungry. Where the Most High at? I don't even see him. I don't believe him. I want to go back to Egypt. We actually said that. I believe it's in the Apocrypha. We actually said that. We'd rather be back in Egypt. Like, you understand how disrespectful that is. Mm. But both of these brothers were caused to error, right? Moses' error was that he was supposed to speak to the rock, and the Most High was going to make water flow up out of it. But because he was so frustrated, he didn't listen to the Most High, and he was getting tired of us being ignorant, so he just struck the rock. Here's the problem with that. When we saw that, we looked at it as, oh, Moses struck the rock. So we gave praise to Moses. We didn't give praise to the Most High. You understand? That was Moses' error. Aaron's error was idolatry, because he was getting frustrated too. Because we were like, well, where the Most High at? I don't see him. Y'all talking about this great power. I don't see no great power. We wanted something tangible. So what did Aaron do? Aaron made the legendary golden calf.
He appeased them.
Yeah, to appease them. And this is how it shows how ignorant we were. We saw him make it. He gathered all the gold from all of us and, molded it into this golden calf. We made an altar out of it, and we started worshiping an idol, a graven image. Mm. That's how frustrated. And the thing is, Aaron knew it was wrong, but he was just like, I want these people to just shut up.
Shut up.
Just shut up. So he made that, and it caused him to error. Though these were great brothers, it's good to learn from their mistakes. do not worship graven images. Okay? Don't make no golden calf. Don't take this and then think that this is the most high. Don't do that. Don't do that. I hear you, Swap. Like, don't do that. All right. Don't sit here and do what Samson did, chasing these heathen women.
Mm-hmm.
Another example, of course, Solomon. We can talk about Solomon. I don't even need to go to the precept for that. I can just bring that out. Of course, Solomon, not only sleeping with heathen women, but him sleeping with heathen women caused him to worship their gods, right? Because that happens a lot. You see a lot of brothers that get a foreign woman and you want to appease them, like you said earlier. And now you start worshiping their God. You get away from God.
Right.
Our God, the Most High. You want to do what they want to do. You want to start wearing dashikis and, now everybody getting all hyped up because of the Black Panther movie. And, I'm going to watch it still. But, thing is, it's like none of y'all even claimed any African customs until it was shown to you. Even the Africans are getting mad about it. You understand? Now I see the so-called Latino and indigenous brothers and sisters, they're fighting each other,
Right.
saying, oh, this is Latino representation. No, it's indigenous representation. Ain't y'all the same people? Like, stop. Okay, different labels, of course, because they say Latino is a colonizer term, which it is. You're right. You want to know what else is a colonizer term? Black.
Right.
Name any other people on the planet that identify with a skin color. Just think about that. Also, even the term native and indigenous. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Hey, shalom, sis.
Shalom on Christ. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Before we said native and indigenous, they identified through their respective tribes. We had all these different tribes. Now you just say, well, I'm indigenous. I'm Native American. I'm recognized by the federal government. Why the federal government got to recognize you to be indigenous? I mean, y'all saying y'all not colonized. You sound pretty colonized to me. I'm just saying. My point being is we're so destroyed now that we'll just cling on to anything that resembles our culture, right? And it's no different from what Solomon was doing, worshiping these false gods, building altars for the Moabites,
Mm-hmm.
the Ammonites, the
Mhm.
Edomites, all that stuff. You understand? King David, like you brought up earlier, because he was lusting after another man's wife, not only did he sleep with her, he got him killed.
Right.
He got him killed.
Mm-hmm.
So that hit David's error not only caused him to sin, but caused the death of somebody else who was serving him. I think he was a Hittite. But the thing was, like, that was still his wife, though. I know some people will be like, is it a sin if you sleep with a heathen woman's wife? Yeah, that's still somebody's wife. Doesn't matter. A sin is a sin. Point blank, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We could talk all day, right? You got any other examples, Natazak, you want to bring out?
Man, I got a real good example, which is
Go ahead.
don't be like Paul either. Don't sit there and persecute the man of the prophets of the Most High just because you didn't have what it takes to cut it. If you couldn't last in this school, if you didn't have the courage, you didn't have the strength to last in the school, don't turn away from the school and then try to find any type of insults to say because you just didn't have what it took.
Oh my.
If you're a fake, if you left this school, because people want to sit there and say we're a camp, we're not a camp. You know what I mean? We're a school. If you didn't have what it takes to be in this body, to be in this school, then, and you go and you leave and you go join another group, don't try to develop a hatred because you didn't have what it took to be here. If you a sister and you thought that you was, you know what I mean, you thought that just being a wife was just not gonna have some tasks to it, some hardships to it, and you didn't have what it took to withhold that marriage, and you felt like you wanted to be single and go deal with other men, don't try to find any type of dirt to throw on our name because you didn't have what it took to be a wife to your husband. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to figure out, oh yeah, well, they're this and they're that and they're this and they're that. No, you don't have to down us because you were weak. You don't have to talk down on the prophets of the Lord because you were weak. You know what I mean? You knew that this was the truth when you were in here. You know what I mean? Right. And you just didn't have the spirit to be able to stay. You didn't have the spirit to be able to deal with the hardships that come with having to be responsible for your position in whatever you do. We have a position in this body. You know what I mean? We do our servings in this body. You just didn't have what it took. What Paul did, well, he was Saul at that time. Saul persecuted men of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Men who represented Christ and who were out there teaching the gospel. You know what I'm saying? And then he found he was chosen to be in position to be Paul, to go out and go teach to the Gentiles and go get the people who were of Israel that were born in different places who didn't know who they were, and go give them their knowledge of who they were. You know what I'm saying? But before that, he was Saul, and he was persecuting the man of Christ. So don't make that mistake. If you feel like you just don't have the spirit and you can't cut it, you can't deal with enduring to the end, then just leave in silence.
Right.
You don't have to try to throw dirt on our names because you can't accept the fact that you were weak and you couldn't cut it. You know what I mean? You don't have to throw salt at us because you didn't have what it took to be a righteous soldier, and you didn't have what it took to be a righteous wife. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to persecute the man of the prophets of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Just leave in silence, because what you're doing is not only are you a coward and not only are you unrighteous for leaving, but also, you know what I'm saying, you throwing even more salt on the wound by building up a hatred for the things that you didn't have what it took to cut it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to think about what type of judgment you're going to have to face. You know what I'm saying? Not only did you leave and you didn't have what it took, but you also wanted to try to validate why you were a coward. You know what I'm saying? You also wanted to try to find an excuse to validate, and you wanted to try to make your own God. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say about that. Don't be like Saul. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nah, I got you. And before we end the class, I'll just scroll up real quick if you could, Baba Kasha. I think it was up. Said right there. Says, sir, last week I went to see the movie Nope, and they pushed the idea that the chariots can be defeated and by a lesbian sister. Oh my, are you serious?
I didn't watch that movie.
I heard that movie was trash.
I'm probably gonna watch it tonight.
I'm probably gonna watch it too. But
I heard it was trash.
Yeah, no, the water for
He
sharing
said
that. Like,
not only did the chariots get destroyed,
but by a lesbian. My goodness, you see the mess they try to push.
And that was a Hamite too.
Yeah, this is why it's so important to be in the truth. And before we end the class, there's one more thing I want to bring up. I don't even got to use the Bible for this one, because what the brother brought out was so heavy about, I know we're talking about brothers being strong. Sisters got to be strong too. And if I could, let me recognize some sisters who are extremely strong and they never get any credit. Let me take it back for you. Slavery. Y'all do understand that we were still getting married in slavery, right?
Right.
Like, sisters were still marrying brothers in slavery when we were getting ripped apart, hanged, tarred and feathered. We're getting boiled in a pot. They made shoes out of us. They ate us.
Right.
Here's my thing. Throughout all that, these women still try to be faithful.
Right.
When they were getting sexually assaulted, they were still trying to be faithful to their man. So that just shows the strength that a righteous sister can have, right? So what does that have to do with anything? We just read about, things are aforetime are meant for our learning, right? Well, this is one for the sisters. Learn from that. Brothers were dying. Sisters were dying. And we were still getting married. They were still brothers. Also, for the brothers, they were still sticking with their women.
Mm-hmm.
Through slavery, throughout all that. So what's your excuse now? You ain't got an excuse. I don't like him no more. So I don't like her no more. Did she commit adultery? Well, no. Okay, so that's your wife. Y'all took the time. Y'all, you know how they like to say, well, it's my body, it's my choice. Okay, well, you made the choice with your body to have sex. And sex is marriage. That is your husband. And if you're a brother, that is your wife.
Right. And
you are to stay with them.
Right.
Because even when we were getting killed by the thousands, more than that, shoot, The native, we always talk about the southern tribes, the northern tribes, our so-called Latino and Native brothers and sisters. They were getting killed. They were getting put on cargo ships. We always talk about black people, but we always exclude the natives. They were getting put on slave ships too and sold out to the Caribbean islands and to Europe and whatnot, kidnapping native indigenous women and killing off the kids and the men, right? And they were still getting married and stayed together, just like how we did. So you ain't got an excuse. Learn from your ancestors. Because I'm going to tell you right now, our ancestors are proven to be a lot stronger than us because y'all can't stick together because y'all, you're bored. You want to go live a hot girl summer.
All right.
Yeah, well, my rib is annoying. Okay, did she leave you? Well, no. Well, be thankful for that. I know that might hurt some brothers real quick, but guess what? I would rather have a rib that sometimes get on my nerves. Look, you're gonna get on people's nerves sometimes. Look, well, you're a man, she's a woman. You're not always gonna, link up in the mind sometimes. It's normal, right? But at least she's being faithful. All right. She's not being evil and wicked. She might just get on your nerves sometime. Okay, whatever. You probably get on her nerves too. But she's staying with you. Don't throw her away. Because I'm pretty sure there are plenty of brothers out there who wish they had a sister that would actually stay with him. Because they leave for whatever reason now.
Right. I
don't like him. He's in a cult.
Right.
Well, Christ was in a cult. Shut up. Get over it. Salakia. I'm going to end it with that. I'll be talking all day. But yeah, we'll end it with that, right? Thawada to everybody that tuned in. Who is this? Damn right, sis. No cowards. All right, Thawada for everybody that tuned in. I guess Thawada to the Edomite that tuned in. I don't know. I don't know. Thanks, I guess. Go tell your friends about it.
Yeah, shit.
But with that, we'll end the class. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. If anybody who is not in the truth, get your ass in the truth.
Right.
While you still can. Learn from your ancestors' mistakes. Because they left the truth, so to speak, right? And look what happened to them. King Solomon started sinning. You ain't Solomon. You ain't as great as Solomon. I tell it to your face. I'm not as great as Solomon, but even he fell off, which should show you that it doesn't matter how high your status is.
Bro.
You are a child of God. You are an Israelite, regardless of your rank, regardless of your position, the shade of your skin, no matter how big or strong or beautiful you are. Most High not worried about that. He worried about this. What's in your spirit? All right. Salakia, before you end the class, you got anything?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to add on also for the Edomite that logged on the class. Go to isupk.com. Go press that button that says donate. And empty out your bank account.
Most High Christ. All right, with that, imagine just me and the brother up here. Sorry, face me. Sorry.
La Yasharala.
Sorry, face me. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins, prepare to salute the Torah. Sorry, face me. Go ahead. Oh no, I'll.
Oh, you gonna hold it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Salakia.
You gotta salute it. Salakia.
Salute the Torah. Salakia.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barak. Yeah.
Yah Bashem Yah Shai Barak. Yeah. All right, so now we can get the prayers. All right. Amadim upon Yah HaKwadam, which means to stand and face the east. We can start with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa.
Abanawa,
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash.
Kodash,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Shamka.
Shamka,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Malak with Ka.
Malak with Ka,
Taba'a.
Taba'a,
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza,
Kawa.
Kawa,
Hayah.
Hayah,
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim,
Latanganawa.
Latanyanawa,
Lakam.
Lakam,
Call.
Call,
Yawam.
Yawam,
Wasalaknawa.
Wasalaknawa,
Kabawatnawa.
Kabawatnawa,
Wasalaknawa.
Wasalaknawa,
Kabawathinawa.
Kabawathinawa,
Wala'a.
Wala'a,
Tabayanawa.
Tabayanawa,
Banasaiwan.
Banasayawan,
Ball.
Ball,
Hawashainawa.
Hawashainawa,
Mayan.
Mayan,
Rai.
Rai,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Laka.
Laka,
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa,
Wa'ala.
Wala'ala,
Wa'atapara.
Watapara,
Walamyam.
Walayam,
Aman.
Amen. The Lord's Prayer in the English, Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
thy kingdom come,
It's like it. Thy kingdom come.
thy will be done
Thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our
and
debts
forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver
from
us
evil.
from evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom
thine is the kingdom
and the power
and the power
and the glory
and the glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. Hakat, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai.
Yahushai,
Baba Kasha.
Baba Kashah,
Batanlanawa.
Latanyanawa,
Hakat.
Hakat,
Hakat.
Hakat,
Larapa'a.
Lapara,
Call.
Call,
Makala.
Makala,
Wakal.
Wakal,
Madawa.
Madawa,
It's like it. Hakat.
Hakat,
Latahar.
Latahar,
Ha.
Ha,
Matazariah.
Matazariah,
Hakat.
Hakat,
Lahakwaya.
Laquayim,
Matama Allah.
Matama Allah,
It's like it. Hamathium.
Hamathium,
Hakat.
Hakat,
Isle.
Isle,
Rock. It's like it. Raka'ah.
Raka'ah,
Katama Allah.
Patama Allah,
Garshun.
Regarasham,
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai.
Yahushai,
Kowada.
Kowada,
Aman.
Aman. Hakat, the power in the English, Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please,
Please
give us the power,
give us the
the
power.
power to
The
heal
power to heal
all manner of sickness,
all manner of
and
sickness.
all manner of disease,
And all manner of disease.
the power to cleanse the
The
lepers,
power to cleanse the
the
leper.
power to raise the
The
dead,
power to raise the
the
dead.
power against unclean
The
spirits,
power against unclean
to
spirits.
cast them out
To cast them out.
in the name of
In
Yahushai.
the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. There's the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh,
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Yahushai,
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Ramak Allah,
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim,
Matazab Ya'ah.
Atazab Ya'ab,
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana,
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Alawapim,
Ha Saranyam.
Hasa Ramyam,
Ha Kwatazayoyim.
Hashwatazayonim,
Haka Yayoyim.
Hachayoyim,
Waha Akwathim.
Wa Agwathim,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai.
Yahushai,
The water.
the water,
Aman.
Aman. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
and Yahushai,
And Yahushai.
and Michael,
And Michael.
and the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana,
Commanding General Yahana.
the generals,
The generals.
the captains,
The captains.
the officers,
The officers.
the troopers,
The troopers.
and the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of
In the
Yahushai,
name of Yahushai.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Hasha'ah,
Ayanya.
Ayamya,
Oh.
All,
Hahorim.
Hahayim,
Mayan.
Mayan,
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah,
Izoria.
Isaiah,
Izoria.
Isaiah,
Ma'ain.
Na'ain,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Shamayim.
Shemayim,
Wa'arataza.
Wa'arataza,
Ayatun.
Ayathan,
Lamawat.
Lamawat,
Ragolka.
Ragalka,
All.
All,
Yanawam.
Yanawam,
Shamarka.
Shamarka,
Hana.
Hana,
La'ah.
La'ah,
Yanawam.
Yanawam,
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah,
Yayashun.
Yayashim,
Shawamar.
Sharamar,
Yasharala.
Yasharala,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Shamarka.
Shamarka,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Tazalka.
Tazalka,
Ayad.
Ayad,
Yamyamka.
Yamika,
Yawamam.
Yanawam,
Hashamash.
Hashamash,
La'ah.
La'ah,
Yakaka.
Yakaka,
Wayarak.
Barak,
Balayallah.
Wala'lah,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka,
Makal.
Makal,
Rai.
Rai,
Yashamar.
Yashamar,
Afnapashka.
Afnapashka,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Yashamar.
Yashamar,
Tazaafka.
Tazaaka,
Obuwaafka.
Wabawa'atka,
Maita.
Maita,
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai,
Iwalam.
Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help comes from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth
shall
Israel
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy
The
shade
Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve
The
thee
Lord shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all,
all,
Damaya,
Damaya,
Laka,
Laka,
all,
all,
Sakarash,
Sakarash,
Wa'al,
Wa'al,
Tashakwat,
Tashakwat,
all,
all,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Awayabyaka,
Ayabika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawam,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Isle,
Isle,
Amaka,
Amakah,
Ya'imwa,
Ya'imwa,
Sawadah,
Sawadah,
Waida,
Waida,
Yatazawa,
Yatazawa,
Isle,
Isle,
Tazapawanyaka,
Tizapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wadakakidam,
Magoya,
Magaria,
Mala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum,
Shem,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Yatazawa,
Yatazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alyaka,
Ayaka,
Baryath,
Bayath,
Yakarathwa,
Yakawathwa,
Ahalya,
Ahaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa,
Wa,
Yashama Alyam,
Yashama Island,
Mawa'aba,
Mama Abba,
Wahagoyam,
Wagayam,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wayama1,
Wamawam,
Wayamalak,
Wamalak,
Palashah,
Palashah,
Amishabia,
Amyashabia,
Tazawar,
Hazawar,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Alawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Kiowa,
Hiawa,
Zorawai,
Zarawai,
Labunya,
Labunya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Asha, that's like Aisha,
Aisha,
Lahum,
Laham,
Kamadyam,
Kamadyam,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyam,
Kayabyam,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Koyashwan,
Kayashwam,
Shamarwa,
Shabawa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Darawa,
Hayawa,
Hiawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La Adama,
La Adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayadamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yamawa,
Namwa,
Kairab,
Kara,
Kazaaba,
Kazaaba,
Kazabat,
Kazabat,
Kazalmanai,
Wakatazamanai,
Call,
Paul,
Nasayakamwa,
Nasiyakama,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Nayarasha,
Narasha,
Nanawa,
Narawat,
Ath,
Ath,
Nawath,
Narawat,
Alahayam,
Alahayam,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagogala,
Kagogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Raka'a,
Raka'ah,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaira,
Tabaira,
Yaira,
Ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Kalahat,
Kalaat,
Haryam,
Hayam,
Kun,
Kan,
Daradama,
Tawadatma,
Basairaka,
Basa Iraka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapafka,
Tabahalam,
Tabalam,
Mala'a,
Malaa,
Panyahum,
Palahum,
Kuala One,
Kalawum,
Waya,
Waya,
Kwashwa,
Wakwaswa,
Shamka,
Shumka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Bahawa,
Bahawa,
Ai,
Ayai,
Waya,
Waya,
Kaparwa,
Kaparwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Abadwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Dayawa,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shamka,
Shumka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Abadka,
Alyawam,
Iawam,
Alcohol,
Aikal,
Harataza.
Haratazah. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace,
And be not still.
and be not still.
O God.
O God,
For lo,
for lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
and
the Hagarenes,
the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
and
and Ammon,
Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like Oreb,
and like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as Zabah,
and as
and
Zalmunna,
as Almunna,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God,
Make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame.
that they may seek thy name.
They may seek thy
O
name.
Lord.
O Lord.
Let them be confounded
Let them be confounded
and troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. Sorry, it's me.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.